Incidents in Microsoft 365 Defender provide a wealth of helpful, correlated information, so a visual representation, like attack story, can make it all easier and faster to absorb. Easily navigate between affected assets, or drill deep into the details of individual alerts while retaining the full context of the incident. This video shows how to use attack story as a starting point for quickly understanding an incident's who, what, when, and where. All the information needed to tell a good story. Attack stories are laid out in a simple grid. First, the alerts section on the left lists the alerts associated with this incident, sorted from oldest to newest. You can do a lot with this, but more on that in a minute. In the center, the incident graph illustrates the attack's scope and how it spread through your environment over time. The default graph view groups entities of the same type together that are linked to an identical node, like files with other files, and processes with other processes linked to the device. Turn off Group Similar Nodes to expand the graph and see all the individual entities. Also, aligning entity types sometimes makes it easier to visualize, especially if you have many entities of a certain type. To do that, select Layout, followed by Align Entity Types. You can also move entities around manually to help with visualization. The dotted and solid lines on the graph show relationships between entities. Solid lines indicate that two entities communicated with each other, like a computer accessing a website or IP address. And dashed lines indicate that two entities are associated with each other, like a file or process on a computer. Understanding these connections is important when investigating an incident because it provides insight into the relationships between various entities. The Details side pane on the right shows information about alerts or entities you select from the graph. It starts with the incident details. For example, select a device entity in the graph and select Device Details. Now, it shows details about that device. Of course, you can hide the Details side pane to give you more room to view the graph. Next, we'll tie all this together. Attack stories have some cool features, like the alerts list. You wouldn't think a list would be cool, but this one is. When you move over alerts in the list, related entities are highlighted in the graph, and unrelated entities are grayed out. Select an alert to open the alert story. The alert story contains the alert timeline and a lot of other information depending on the types of entities involved. In the Details pane on the right, there's even more information. You can also open the alert page to dig even deeper. Sometimes you just want to watch the story unfold, like watching a movie. To see these alerts added to the graph in chronological order, like in a movie, simply select the play button. Just like in a movie, you can pause, fast forward, or rewind. When you're done with play mode, don't forget to select Exit Play Mode. Now, let's dig a little more into the incident graph. If you want to temporarily hide entities from the graph, maybe to remove some clutter, select the entity and then select Hide Related Alerts. This hides the entity on the graph, and related alerts are now grayed out. It might also hide other entities that are related to those alerts. Also, you can pin alerts, so related entities remain highlighted in the graph even when that alert is not selected. Just select Pin Alert Highlight on an alert. Now the associated entities and edges are highlighted, and they remain highlighted when I move to another alert. I'll reset all of this by selecting Unpin All and Show All. The last thing I want to show you is how easy it is to take action on entities. Select an entity in the incident graph, and then select Actions. I can open an entity's detail page, run an antivirus scan, isolate the device, and more. The actions available here depend on the type of entity. In Microsoft 365 Defender, analysts can investigate an incident's entire attack story all in one place. For more information about guided hunting, see our documentation on Microsoft Docs. Microsoft Security.